all of you. It's truly a pleasure to see so many of you joining us today for the special wellness session. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Your presence itself shows us that your commitment to learning, growth, and better health. Today's session is especially meaningful as we come together to explore the importance conversations around cellular health, gut health, and preventive wellness. The topics that are more relevant today than ever before. We are honored to
Recording in progress.
by our special guest speaker, Dr. Shuan Shen, PhD, a globally respected scientist, educator, author, and a pioneer in integrative medicine. His work bridges modern science with holistic and preventive approaches to health, and we are truly grateful to have him with us today. It is also our great privilege to welcome Mr. Shaji Pulath, Founder Director, Freedom 5 Global, and Global Director Consultant for Zinzino, who continues to guide and inspire many of us through his vision and leadership in preventive health. On behalf of the entire organizing team, I extend a very heartfelt welcome to each one of you. We hope this session brings you clarity, insight, and inspiration and leaves you with many perspectives that can possibly influence with your health journey. Once again, welcome you all, and let us begin this with enriching sessions together. Shaji sir, over to you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ashini. Thank you so much. And namaskaram. And a very warm welcome to each one of you. Thank you for gifting us the most valuable thing you have today, your time and attention. I promise you, the next few minutes may become one of the most important conversations you have ever heard about your health and your family's future. Let me start with a number. 60,000 crore. 60,000 crore rupees. That is the annual healthcare spending in Kerala today. Just in Kerala. Oh, sorry, my mistake. It is not healthcare. It is sickness care, disease management. ഇന്ന് കേരളത്തിൽ ഒരു spent on hospitals, doctors, scannings, medicines, injections, surgeries. Now, here is my simple question. If we are, seeing more sickness than ever before, despite, spending this much money, then why are we seeing more sickness? Why are people getting diseases earlier? Why are young people collapsing suddenly? Why is diabetes, BP, cancer, depression, gut issues becoming normal? Which means something is clearly not working. A few months ago, I saw a news item from Gulf region. On one single day, one single day, 7 coffins were flown back to India. 7 മൃതദേഹങ്ങൾ ഒരൊറ്റ ദിവസം ഇന്ത്യയിലേക്ക് അയക്കുകയാണ്. 7 young men, 25 years, 26, 30 years old. They went abroad with dreams to support their family, their parents, to build a future. And all 7 died of the same thing, same reason, sudden heart attack. 7 families destroyed in one day, my dear friends. 7 families. The parents airport, the parents are standing at the airport, not to hug their sons. മക്കളെ കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നതിനോ ഉമ്മ കൊടുക്കുന്നതിനോ ആശ്ലേഷിക്കുന്നതിനോ അല്ല, but to receive their lifeless bodies, ചേതനയറ്റ ജീവനറ്റ ശരീരത്തെ സ്വീകരിക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. And then I read another line in the news. Almost 3,000 people die of heart attack every day in our country. നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് 3000-ഓളം ആൾക്കാർ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും പ്രതിദിനം ഹാർട്ട് അറ്റാക്ക് മൂലം മരണപ്പെടുന്നു എന്നതാണ് ന്യൂസ്. Friends, if this can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. So tonight, this is not a health talk, not a sales talk. This is a life-saving conversation. Why are we still sick despite spending so much? ഇത്രമാത്രം പൈസ സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ ഇത്ര അധികം രോഗങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആളുകൾ മരണപ്പെടുന്നത്? Let me tell you something shocking. Out of that 60,000 crore rupees Kerala spends every year, hospitals take around some 22,000, 26,000 crore. And pharmacies, they spend some 17,000 to 20,000 crore. And diagnostics take some 7,000 to 10,000 crore. But maybe less than 5 to 3% or 3 to 5% is spent on prevention. That means we are spending 95 to 97% of our money after people fall sick. It is like waiting your house to burn and then calling the fire force. We never learned how to maintain health. We only learned how to manage disease. See, let me tell you a simple analogy, a simple example. We all service our car, right? We change the oil, filter changing, regular checkups, air pressure check. But how many of us service our body? Almost never. And here is the truth. Your body is not a machine. It's a living ecosystem of 70 to 100 trillion cells, my dear friends. 70 to 100 trillion micro engines. It's a living ecosystem. Every disease you know, diabetes, BP, cholesterol, arthritis, PCOD, depression, cancer, you name it. All diseases starts from the cellular level, starts at the cellular level. Long ago, a Nobel-nominated scientist, Dr. Roger Williams, he said, there is only one disease, cellular malfunction. When cells are deprived of nutrients or overloaded with toxins, they malfunction. That malfunction is what we call disease. Powerful, simple, true. Now, let me explain something schools never taught us. We know all these things. This is the thing. We haven't learned this. They never taught us in schools or colleges. It is called inflammation. See, this inflammation, not the swelling you see when you cut your finger or when you hit somewhere and you get this swelling. That is actually acute inflammation and it is good. It is an immune response. The dangerous one is chronic inflammation. It is silent, invisible, and burning inside for years and years. And what controls this inflammation at cellular level? This is something called omega-6 and omega-3 balance. Think of it like this. Omega-6 equals fire. Omega-3 equals water. And you need both, but in balance. The ideal ratio is 3:1 or less. Now guess what the average Indian ratio is. It is 46:1. Which means 46 times more fire than water. Would you sleep peacefully in a house like that? Which means you have 46 places where it's burning, where it's fire, and you have only 1 cup of water. See, that is why heart attacks, strokes, autoimmune diseases, depression, cancers, all are rising, even in young people. It can happen everywhere. See, this is if you have if you are not maintaining this ratio, this inflammation starts. And if you have no omega-3, and we all know that this basic unit of our body is the cells, and cells are getting regenerated or created inside our body. Almost they say that almost 300-400 billion cells are getting produced every day inside our body. And these things are the structural components. You need this. And if you have no omega-3 available or this EPA, DHA available, then your cell membrane will become hard. They become rigid. Then what happens? If it is rigid, they cannot absorb the nutrients. They cannot flush out the toxins. And that causes cellular damage again. So if you want to prevent this flame, this inflammation, this fire inside your body, or if you want to maintain a proper cell membrane fluidity, the only option is to bring this omega-6, omega-3 ratio back into balance, which is 3:1. Now comes the most important question. How do I know what is happening inside my body? What is my ratio? So that is why we Zinzino, we are not guessing. No guessing, not assumptions. And Zinzino, this company from Sweden, they introduced something revolutionary, the balance test. I would call this as a breakthrough tool, which means we can literally understand what is happening inside our body. Okay, this is called balance test. So all you have to do is just take 2 drops of blood from your fingertip. You can do this at home. You don't want to go to any hospital or you don't want to go to any laboratory. It's a home-administered test, my dear friends. You just take 2 drops of blood and send it across to this lab. You send it to this, our office at Delhi, and they will send these blood samples to this lab at Oslo. This lab is Vitas Analytical Services. It's a lab in Oslo Science Park in Norway. And this lab is the most trusted and most reputable labs out there. They have partnered with big organizations like World Health Organization and Olympic Committee and Harvard University, Oxford University, King's College of London, almost big pharma companies. They all have partnered with this particular lab because they have the most advanced facilities out there. And they test your blood sample. And you receive a 20-page personal report showing your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, your cellular protection, your inflammation risk, your omega-3 index, your biological aging speed. And remember, this is not just some opinion, this is data. And they have published this data, the study reports in August. in almost all of the leading medical journals. And what we found that 97% of the people out there in the world are out of balance. This is not just some opinion, my dear friends. So you find your personal report. You get your personal report. And here is the beauty. The good news is that after 120, you can retest and see if your cells are actually improved. That's what Zinzino says. We can bring you back into balance in 120 days. After 120 days, you can retest. In 95% of the cases, it will be back in balance in 120 days. And that's the confidence. And that's what something so unique. No company in the world. And I want to tell you one more thing. Therapeutic clinical nutrition is a vacant space in our country. There is no other company. This space is so vacant. There is no other company. They give measurable results. The only company now operates in India under therapeutic clinical nutrition is Zinzino. Right? So this company, they give us the formulations. No, see, here we don't treat the disease. We feed the cells correctly. Zinzino has got a big, group of scientists, researchers, well-known, renowned scientists. They formulate some special, food preparations. And you feed your cells correctly. And this is not some random generic supplements. Zinzino has introduced something called essence oil in our country. Okay, it is not some generic omega-3 supplement. It's a combination of high-quality fresh fish oil, wild-caught fish oil, and cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, and powerful olive polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants, and vitamin B. We all know that it's most people are having a serious deficiency of vitamin D, then vitamin E, and many other natural ingredients. So this combination, it reduces inflammation. It repairs your cell membranes, and it improves heart, brain, hormones, joints, everything. And it is test-based nutrition, not blind supplementation. We know that there are many omega-3 supplements out there in the market. It's a big market, maybe some $12 billion sector in the market. But what we have seen is that most supplements out there in the market, they don't work. We could say 97% of the supplements, because we have tested people, those who are taking these supplements for the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, like that, and still the ratio is out of balance. Even they brought all these supplements from other countries abroad, even US, places like that, but still, that's what something called OSI, Oil Stability Index. It doesn't matter what supplements you are taking, whether these things are getting absorbed or not. That's what matters. Absorption. So in order to absorb, you need to maintain the stability of the food formulation. That's what this, brilliant formulation, because Zinzino, extract the fish oil and they immediately blend this fish oil with olive polyphenols, olive oil, extra virgin olive oils. This olive oil protects this EPA and DHA. That's what this balanced oil. So that's how this works. And this is not some marketing claims. Actually, these products are very much certified and endorsed, and highly they prepare with highest quality and care. There are a lot of certifications. This is how we come to know about the quality and the ingredients and everything. It doesn't matter whatever I say or the company says. Maybe all these can become the marketing claims, but what are the endorsements? What are the certifications? What, quality control they follow? That's what matters. And since, all their products are certified with Front of the Sea, Informed Sport, Vegan Society, Colonialist. See, all these are, I would like to explain about this Informed Sport and all these things. Because informed sport is something like, we know that these most Olympians and sports professionals, they all are looking for this particular certification. Why? Because they're so careful. Because when they do their blood test, if they find something in their blood, their career is done. So that's why they're so careful. They take something that is certified by Informed Sport or Informed Choice or Colonialist. That's how they make sure that whatever they consume doesn't have something, some steroids or doping agents or something like that. So all these products are prepared with highest quality and care, and that's why you can give to, any age group, even from 6 months old babies to school-going children to adults to even, this is so essential and mandatory for pregnant women and during lactation, breastfeeding time, and old people, because these things are mandatory and essential requirement for any age group people. So no restriction. You can give this to any age group people. And this EFSC is the most, strictest and stringent, what do you call, a regulatory authority, monitoring agency for the entire Europe. There are 40 plus countries over there. And this is the regulatory authority for almost all the European countries. And they have claimed, they have approved 18 health claims, including normal brain function, normal heart function, normal immune function, normal vision, and see normal brain development of the fetus and breastfeeding infants, and normal bone structure. All these, 18 health claims they approved by European Food Safety Authority. And as I told you before, as we say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You can do the test again. You retest. And in 95% of the cases, those who are taking Zinzino balance supplements are back in balance after 120 days, my dear friends. That's how you bring your balanced body back into your cellular functions. Come back to balance. Now listen carefully. This is the most, this is one, I want to share one more thing. So reaching a balance between omega-6 and omega-3 is a first step to feel good, stay fit, and be healthy. Now let's look at another aspect. Listen carefully. This is where most health talks stop, but real healing starts. Did you know that 70% of your immune system lives in your gut? 90% of serotonin. Serotonin is a happy hormone. Is getting produced inside your gut. Did you know that? And your gut talks to your brain every second. But what is happening today? Antibiotics, processed food, sugar, stress, they destroy your gut microbiome. A damaged gut means poor immunity, poor nutrient absorption, inflammation, autoimmune issues, anxiety, depression, weight gain. See, many conditions. That's why gut health is the foundation. So with balanced oil and balanced test, we fix the cellular functions. And with this Zinzino's approach, we fix your gut health. And we proudly introduce something called gut health test. So this company goes one step further with this gut health test for the first time. With 2 drops of blood, we can analyze your gut bacterial diversity, inflammation markers, and gut barrier integrity. All these things. And then comes Xenobiotic. It's a xenobiotic plus is a symbiotic, in fact. It's a blend of prebiotics, different prebiotics. Prebiotic means it's a food for bacteria. We know that, we have trillions of bacteria inside our gut. This is a big army. It doesn't matter whatever, balanced food or diet you are following. What matters is that what your gut bacteria is doing inside your gut, what they produce, how they convert your food into metabolites that are beneficial for the body. So the Xenobiotic Plus is not some random, prebiotics or probiotics from a pharmacy shelf. This is precision gut restoration. Remember, when your gut heals, your immunity improves. Inflammation reduces, energy returns, and mental clarity improves, and your lipid profile, it regulates, and your metabolic activities, it is getting improved. So, dear friends, so we are spending 60,000 crore rupees every year on sick care. It's not health care. You're managing your sickness, your disease. And still, these sicknesses are getting increased. People are getting, more and more sick. That tells us one thing. The system is excellent at treating disease. Okay. So Zinzino has got a lot of them, and they are introducing one by one over here in our country. And you look at Europe or any other countries out there, and you can see hundreds of global sports professionals, international sports professional, Olympic medal winners. They all are brand ambassadors of Zinzino. Why? Because it is not paid endorsement. It is not some paid endorsement or random, these things. They all are consuming these Zinzino products. So that's how they become the brand ambassadors. Okay, now Zinzino, I would like to tell you a small information about Zinzino. Zinzino is from Sweden. It's a Scandinavian company. They started in 2005, and it's a who comes under therapeutic cellular nutrition. And the system is excellent, and not for, treating it. Actually, our existing system, sickness care, is excellent at treating disease, but poor at creating health. But we don't replace doctors. Zinzino doesn't replace doctors. It supports the body before disease appears. So you don't wait for a heart attack to change, oil in your car. So why wait for disease to service your body? So tonight, don't overthink. Just do 3 simple things. Take the balance test, restore your cellular balance with a centroid, heal your gut with xenobiotic retest, and xenobiotic plus then retest, then see proof, decide with confidence. Remember, you can change your phone, you can change your car, you can change your house, but you cannot change your body. So be the CEO of your health, not a victim of disease. So this journey starts with 1 drop of blood and 1 powerful decision. So before we move further, it is my honor and privilege to introduce a very special guest. Our speaker today is not just a doctor or a researcher. He is a global pioneer in integrative and preventive medicine. Dr. Shuan Shen, PhD, is a former NIH researcher, author of multiple best-selling health books, educator, and visionary who bridges modern science, cellular biology, gut health, and integrative healing. He has worked extensively in the United States, Taiwan, India, and Malaysia, and has dedicated his life to helping people understand how the body truly heals. Not by suppressing symptoms, but by restoring balance at the cellular and gut level. Today, we are extremely fortunate to hear directly from the doctor. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Lee Shuan Shen, PhD. Doctor, stage is yours. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, doctor, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for the introduction. And I'm going to talk about gut health quickly. And that's a bit of me. But anyway, I don't waste time on this. If you have any issue, you can email me. My interest is to help practitioners setting up effective clinic to help patients. Okay. Today my talk is about gut health. Okay. A lot of time, well, we don't know that there are more gene material than from our own DNA. Okay. So before beginning, on the right-hand side, you can see gut bacteria is important for our immune system metabolism, and also they produce a lot of essential and vital nutrients for us, and also involved in detoxification and getting rid of toxins. Okay, and so microbiota, the definition is it's a community of microorganisms. So gut bacteria is microorganism, and they could be on the skin, they could be in the gut mucosa, or they can in the oral mucosa. Okay, microbiome is the including not only the microorganism but also the environment they inhabit, or their collective genomes. Okay, and because the investment in research on the microbiome project, so we got a lot of information, but still our knowledge is quite limited, and the composition proportion of gut microbiota are affected by gene like FXR, and lifestyle, drugs, aging, and etc. Okay, microbiome is also affected by our feeding patterns and circadian rhythm and metabolism. Okay, and so. And also, what is more important is metabolisms. It's metabolized, produced by these bacteria in a host, and they are important with the barrier integrity, the epithelium barrier, and they produce secondary bile acid, primary bile acid, short chain fatty acid, branch chain fatty acid, and fermentation of the fibers, and a lot of signal transduction. Okay, so this is to repeat a little bit. Our microbiota refer to a community of microorganisms that colonize in our body. And the difference is that the microbiome, including the environment and their collective genomes. And so microbial metabolomics focus on the analysis of intracellular, extracellular primary metabolites, signal molecule, hormones, and secondary metabolites. So just to give you some information, definition about the differences. Okay. So I'm not going to burden you too much with definition, okay? And then our gut bacteria might have virus and bacteria, mycoplasma and parasites and all of that, okay? So that's the overall things. And in some way, what is important is about the metabolites generated in the guts or even in the oral cavity and elsewhere. And in the past, because we don't have enough tools, so we don't know much about it, but now we have got into much deeper. Some of the small molecules have been identified. Today, I'll briefly talk about it, okay? But just briefly, otherwise I can get into or lipid. These could be all the part of the metabolites, okay? But the major player of microbiota, there are at least five main phyla of bacteria in our guts: Firmicutes, Bacteroidetes, Proteobacteria, Chemical, and Actinobacteria, okay? So a lot of Latin names, but we classify bacteria simply by their shape and whether they breathe oxygen or they don't need oxygen. And when you stain it, it's gram positive or negative, or do they cause disease, pathogen, non-pathogen, or commensal? Commensal is more like opportunistic, like fence sitters, okay? But what is better is sometimes mycoplasma. They cannot be stained because they don't have a cell wall. So also the antibiotics, regular antibiotics, they are resistant, especially they attack the cell wall synthesis. So they are more parasitic, okay? A lot of pneumonia are caused by mycoplasma, and some of the kids have some of the behavior issue or whatever actually are caused by mycoplasma, okay? And I'm not going to get too much into it, but if you have grandkids or son and daughter who might have some issues, this is one area to explore, okay? So let's talk about the benefits of gut bacteria, okay? Sorry. So gut bacteria can fight disease, and they promote the excretion of IgA, which is our natural antibodies, so can neutralize the microbe, and they produce energy, and there are two fibers that's important in losing weight. I know the weight problem is quite big an issue in China and India, and in the United States as well. Many places have that issue, even in Taiwan. Yeah, I'm from Taiwan. So some of the lactobacillus, two species, can help in reducing weight, and there are more. So, but it's not simply by throwing this bacteria into your gut would help, because there are multiple factors affecting the functions of microbiota in our body, okay? And that's what I'll talk about later. Okay, so as you can see, microbiota. So we get to know their metabolites, but among the metabolites, there are even more classification, different classes of things, and they affect the gene and signal transduction differently. So as you can see, they modulate quite a few areas of our health. But what is important is our diet, the fiber in our diet, and the prebiotics that would modulate these metabolites and generate healthy metabolites for our body. So the first class is for me cuties. This is most dominant one. Okay, so there are 5. This is the first one, and 90% of the gut bacteria from the first one and the second one, and the 3, 4, and 5 are less. Okay. And of course, you see gram negative and gram positive. So here the keyword biodiversity. So when they test some healthy people and even the primitive people, they find out their gut bacteria is very diverse. Okay, and one of them. The ratio they look is number 1 for McKitty's 1 B and F ratio. F is number 1 and 2 is bacterial rotatis, So and then each phylum will contain several genera, and some of them are more important than others. Okay. And this is a second phylum. Okay, it's about 30% of the collected genetic content. Okay, and they're divided into 4 classes, and these are also called genera. Okay, and the largest is gram negative. And they also, occupied our gut, but some of them are also in the oral cavity. So a lot of dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is a general term to term that unhealthy gut. Okay. And so the consequence of dysbiosis is that inadequate digestion and poor nutrition absorption. Okay, and sometimes might cause constipation or diarrhea, and also this genre can produce a lot of lipopolysaccharides. If there's too much and your gut integrity is not too well, it will get into the blood. And so these are reactive bacterial toxin. And a little bit of it is able to cause problem. So the dietary fiber we eat sometimes work as the binder to absorb this harmful bacterial toxin. Okay. B. fragilis is sometimes a pathogen. Okay, and there are others. If we don't have a good this type of bacterial B type of bacteria, sometimes we will get really bad C. diff infection. this is a very bad infection, okay? And if we lose this type of bacteria, then C. diff tend to stick around and causing problems. And Candida is another issue, okay? And E. coli, Candida is a yeast, not a bacteria. But however, it will work with E. coli and to cause more problems than a single species of the microorganism, okay? And the third type is gram-negative bacteria. And as you can see, proteome, that means the bacteria breaks down proteins, okay? And they also have vaginas, so their shape is not quite the same, and they can glide, means that they move, okay? So this phylum of bacteria help to maintain the anaerobic environment. So the anaerobic environment usually is in the distal part of our colon, okay? So anyway, so the first time probably some of the people have heard about it, especially Akkermansia, Akkermansia. A lot of time they just abbreviate as AKK. AKK bacteria is quite on the news, and the name mucin is basically this bacteria feeds on our mucin mucus, okay? And then it breaks down the mucus and then produce energy and interact with our cells, okay? And as you can see, it looks like this. And when they form the colony, it's like that, okay? And the reason why it's so important is some of the time people try to lose weight and they couldn't get the benefits. Apparently, they are in lack of AKK bacteria. Okay, so. And also, if you are interested in losing weight, and there's a lot of hype about GLP-1 production, and this bacteria stimulate the production of GLP-1, okay? And it's good to control the blood sugar and the weight. Why lactobacillus and bifidus do not have this effect, okay? So that's why it's important. The last type is actinobacteria, okay? And it has filament type of gram-positive. And it also has other feature. And bifidus is the most abundant in this phylum, okay? And so a lot of people knows about bifidus, okay? So I'm not going to talk too much about it. And actually, this bacteria in infancy, different type of bifidus commonly found in the fetus. But as we get older, the dominant species will change. So now you know another factor, age would affect our gut bacteria makeup, okay? The most important part of bifidus is it produces lactic acid and acetic acid. So lower the pH of our gut and then pathogen cannot stick to our guts. So that's why it's important. And inulin, and hydrolyzed, partially hydrolyzed guar gum and arabinoxidant, can feed this bacteria. So a lot of time I myself I make my prebiotic cookies. Okay, so just briefly, I make kombucha tea myself, and it has polyphenol and organic acid, and it helps the gut, and it induce GLP-1 production as well. Okay, so briefly, what are the factors that alter the nature of your bacteria, toxins? Well, okay, mercury and some metals, if they are dumped into your colon, they would alter your gut bacteria. And of course, use of antibiotics, no doubt you all know about it. But some people don't know chemotherapy and radiation will do that as well. And if you eat your food that has a lot of pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides, would affect, and microparticles as well. And however, we have solutions. Cinnamon and garlic extract can wipe out most of the bad bacteria. This is a study done in England. EGCG, that's polyphenol from green tea, and can reverse drug resistance phenotype. Okay. So, however, sometimes when the bacteria from the biofilm, you need digestive enzyme to get rid of it. Okay. And type 2 diabetes, for example, you see it would alter the composition of the gut bacteria. Okay. And there are also certain bacteria, that they are oncogenic. H. pylori, know about it. Fusobacteria nucleatum, and this is related colorectal cancer. However, it's also affect our gum, So as you can see, different bacteria can cause colorectal cancer. I listed over there. And they can also, each bacteria can also cause different cancer. Okay. So diet, don't look at the single part, look at the whole picture, And although GLP-1 can help lose weight, and a lot of people would resort to drug, but I prefer the prebiotic. Under fermentation of the microbiota could increase GLP-1. Okay. And GLP-1 is also increased in a high-fat, high sucrose Western diet. So don't look at just GLP-1, and look at here. If you have a Western really bad diet, you also have GLP-1 up. Okay. So simply looking at one's markers is not to get you healthy. Okay. So a lot of time research is a shotgun approach, and and hit and run, and not necessarily successfully getting you consistent results. And also there are different stages you need to use different diet. Right now there's a lot of people doing a carnivore diet. That's basically don't eat any vegetables and fruit. Some people might think it's crazy, but some of the people have really, really poor gut disease, they resort to carnivore, and in 6 months they reverse their sickness, and then they go on to gradually put the vegetable back into their diet, especially the one low in oxalic acid. Okay, because in the long run, if you are on carnivore diet and you don't have enough binders or whatever, they can produce more than average amount of lipopolysaccharides, that's endotoxin, and a lot of um, secondary metabolites that are uremic toxins. So they would affect your kidney function. Some of the people, the carnivore diet, they would adopt ketogenic diet and reintroduce fiber and vegetable gradually back into their diet. So A factor governs your microbiota: diversity, composition, functionality, gases, resilience, and metabolites, pH, inflammatory markers. Okay. And so you need to look at the picture, the whole picture more. Okay. However, microbiota is more complicated than we think. Here, the majority of gut bacteria are commensals. What does that mean? They are the silent majority in democracy, 70%, 20% good bacteria, and 10% bad bacteria. Okay. And so the commensals basically are opportunists. Okay. So if the bad bacteria is more, they will go with the bad guys. Okay. And then they will cause you problems. So it's more complicated. It's not good and bad. There's a gray area this big, more than the two combined. Okay. So that's the environment of our gut. And so it's not you just add lactobacillus to your supplements, and then you get better, because a lot of time in different diseases or whatever, there's more than enough lactobacillus. As you can see, IBD, has a lot of bad bacteria, but lactobacillus is also more than the healthy people. Okay. Now let's talk about the importance of not only gut bacteria, but their food. At least dietary fiber is their food. So if you feed them and the good bacteria, you feed the right kind of food, then they produce good metabolites for us. But some of the metabolites are not as good. Okay. And you'll be shocked. 2-OG actually come from olive oleic acid. Okay, it's in some way it's not a good metabolites. Okay, it can cause problem. Short-chain fatty acid, you have been hearing that they are really important. They are really important, and we also know which phylum produce more of that. But the three major kind is acetic acid, propionic acid, and butyric acid. Okay, and most of it acetic acid. Okay. However, I will tell you a little bit more is not better, because if the short-chain fatty acid is in your mouth, then will cause your gum issues. Ghee is a good source of butyrate. Okay. So that's why I know in India, ghee is very treasured source of fat. Okay. So butyrate is for the food for the colon cells and repair leaky guts and reduce inflammation, improve bowel movement. Okay, and not only it's good for the gut, but it also for your immunity, your mitochondria, the whole body. Okay, improve your metabolism and help you to manage your weight. Okay, so because butyrate can turn into beta hydroxy butyrate, and it will activate certain protective mechanism in your system. Okay, so some of people taking exogenous BHB. Okay, and this is the structure of a BHB. Okay, and there are some men try to mimic it to have the effect. Okay, but already they find out it could be used for chronic kidney disease. Okay, I know there are also quite a lot of people in this country. They go through the kidney dialysis. Okay, and BHB, butyric acid, is important. You know, so gut bacteria play a complex role in protein metabolism and the production of both short-chain fatty acid and uremic toxins. So that's why I say it's more complicated than we think. And the uremic toxin can include indoxysulfate, sulfate, and ammonium. Okay, so if your fat is really stinky, you might have to think about your producing not quite producing harmful metabolites. Okay, and also if you have CKD, your gut microbiota probably is dysbiotic. Okay, so you might have to take some of the probiotic and especially prebiotic. So Dr. Williams is in UC Santa Cruz, and he has some ideas that they have reversed some kidney disease cases. Found out a lot of CDK patients are low in protein. Actually, that was harmful. Not enough meat is harmful. Okay, yeah. So fermentation of protein will produce a diverse mixture of metabolites, including ammonia, indole, and its derivatives, and polyamine, amine, and these might be also reactive and branch chain fatty acid. So these metabolites impact our gut health. Okay, so with the time constraint, I'm not going to talk about each individual things. Okay, so activate carbon, is used as a binder to absorb the uremic toxins. Okay, so that's why after checking your diet, your gut metabolites, you have to decide whether you need to add binders to bind up these harmful toxins. Okay, so this is indole and its derivatives. Okay, and tryptophan. Yes, our gut has a lot of serotonin, and serotonin is come from tryptophan. But the metabolism of tryptophan can produce some harmful toxins as well. Okay, these are the food high in tryptophan and the food high in tryptophan are others. Okay, and the next one is tyrosine. Also, it will be metabolized to tyramine. Tyramine, on some way, is good. It's a double agent. One side is good, one side is bad, and a lot of aged cheese and etc. They are really high in tyramine. Some people do well with tyramine, but not all of them. Okay, so it also have a detrimental effects. Okay, so if you have already have diseases, you get too much tyramine, it might get worse. Okay, so you have to check your tolerance. Okay, and histidine also can degrade it into a particular compound. This compound is imidazole propionate, IMP. Okay, and it turned out that we find out IMP is linked to a sclerosis. Okay, so cardiovascular disease, and it also would exacerbate the diseases you have, because once form the plaque, you can plaque in different areas. If it's in your organ, then cause the organ failure. Okay, and bioactive amine, and there are quite a few of them. They are also coming from amino acids. Okay, so I told you about carnivore diet is not meant for all, and it's because it has all this protein, and they can be degraded, metabolized into some of the metabolites harmful for our body. Of course, from the perspective of toxicology, it's all about dosage. Dose. It's too much, then it's harmful. Okay, 2-OG, could be produced by protein, this bacteria, specific bacteria. Yeah, it will work on our body, and it's also like a GLP-1, but it also cause disease, especially bad for the liver. But where is coming from? Olive oil, oleic acid. Okay, oleic acid is in olive oil and in sunflower seed oil. Okay, but let me tell you what would be the sticking point. With high carbohydrate content and dysbiosis, actual oleic acid might be metabolized to harmful 2-OG. Okay, so if you are on a healthy diet, you have a lot of olive oil, and you have the right gut bacteria, then most likely the oleic acid is not metabolized to 2-OG in your gut. Okay, that's why I said look at the whole picture. Don't look at just a few words and you say, well, this is bad for you. Olive oil is bad for me. Okay. So some of the bacteria has been shown to be beneficial. Okay. So to restore your gut health is important, is to produce TMAO. This is uremic toxins. Okay. So, and the effect will be blocked by AKK. You see the AKK bacteria. And bioacids are important, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. And I only want to say Mother Nature is more complicated than we think. These are the metabolites. BHB, it's good, and it will bind with phenylalanine. Lactic acid, it will bind with alanine, and we find it can inhibit appetite, both of them. Okay. And in particularly, if you do intensive exercise, you will produce lactic acid and combine with phenylalanine to produce this and then suppress your appetite. Okay. And in actuality, despite they all both inhibit the appetites, they have two different meanings. Okay. They affect the different areas of your eating feeding center in your hypothalamus. They don't act on the same area. One is BHB is from ketogenic diet quite a lot. So it's one of the three ketone body. When there's a lot, they combine with phenylalanine to suppress and telling you don't need to eat. Who has a lot of lactic acid, cancer patients. So when it combines with phenylalanine, it suppresses your appetite. It's because your body doesn't want you to eat. It wants to preserve all the energy to reverse cancer because you have the disease. And I go on to check my hypothesis. Actually, acute infection and chronic infection would increase phenylalanine combination. Okay, so this signal is stressing your appetite center. Okay, so actually we know very little about our microbiome. Okay, and if we don't know about our microbiome, we don't know much about our microbiota, and then we don't know much about micrometabolism. Okay, so the best bet for gut health is don't bet too early if you believe in all the hypes, but I know what's the sure bet. Saccharomyces boulardii has been a sure thing. It's yeast kind, it's a probiotic, and cinnamon and garlic can kill all the bad bacteria. So maybe it's more beneficial to get rid of bad bacteria than put in a so-called probiotic. Cookie made of prebiotic of various types because different bacteria use different prebiotics. Okay, the medical path to health is littered with a lot of dead idea. First, you get the hype, and then after a few years, it's dead. Okay. Yeah, AKK is a hype. It's a potential probiotic, but it's very expensive to produce because it's anaerobic. Once it touches the oxygen in a second, they are dead. Okay, so and metformin suppressed. It was hype. It's so good for diabetes, but after 3 years of taking, you lose muscle. Okay. GLP agonist is the same thing. It has a severe side effect. So this is bloody. And 2015, a meta-analysis of 21 study trial and confirmed it's effective in reducing the risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea in children and adults. Okay. So here are some potential candidates for probiotics, but we better wait and see. And Pronici is a potential one because in different conditions, generally in healthy people, it has more. Okay. So food for thoughts, that's my last one. Prebiotic, generally I make my own cookies. I don't include EPN, DHA, that's separate, but I would include above these various 4 or 5 types of prebiotic with coconut fibers to make my cookies. And probiotics, there are a few kinds. You need to test to see what you are missing, because we know vitamin K is important for the body. So I take vitamin K producing biotics. Okay, postbiotics. Okay, I make my own fermented food, so quite a lot. And from the study, we know urolithin from pomegranate need to be fermented by gut bacteria to produce urolithin A to be effective to activate your mitochondria. Okay, so anyway, there are also other things. Without further ado, I'm just going to stop here. Okay, hopefully give you a brief idea about gut health. Okay. Any question?
Thank you so much, Dr. Shen, for explaining gut health in such a depth and with clarity. So we truly appreciate the strong clinical perspective. So it really helps us to understand what's happening inside our body at a much deeper level. To connect this clinical understanding with our everyday lives, I would like to ask a few simple questions that many of our participants can easily relate to. So how important is gut health in preventing chronic diseases, and what signs tell us our gut is already struggling?
Well, actually, especially some of the mental issues, if you restore the gut health, a lot of mental issues would be reversed.
Oh, okay.
And ketogenic diet is the same. Right now, Harvard University and Johns Hopkins and Stanford University are all very gung-ho about ketogenic diet. Okay, but ketogenic diet has a shortcoming. Okay.
Okay.
Ketogenic diet actually decrease the diversity of gut bacteria. Okay, so in that sense, if you want to increase the diversity, maybe prebiotics is important. Okay, so there is still a lot of unknown. Okay, because we are still relatively new to the area. And some of the things, because we don't have the technology to identify all the metabolites and knowing their functions. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you will see a lot of time you say something is very good, but all of a sudden it's bad for example, short-chain fatty acid, too much butyric acid in your mouth, it will dissolve your gum. Okay. So, and that's why I said you have to look at the whole picture, and the care is important as well. Okay, and then 70% are the bacteria. They are sitting on the fence, so they can be bought off by bad bacteria or good bacteria. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So basically it is like people would be experiencing some mental health related issues when their gut is not in balance. So that's a great insight. So how long should someone take any probiotic consistently to start experiencing real gut health benefits? Like, is there any like a duration or something because we don't get this prebiotic or probiotic through our diet these days. So if anybody is taking any supplement, so how long would you suggest them to take?
Well, generally 3 to 6 months. But I would like to say this: you have to check the gut integrity first. Okay, if the gut integrity is not there, then it would not be helpful. And generally, in some of the case theory, they find out people when they are on carnivore diets or whatever, 6 months is generally they can restore the gut integrity. Okay. Another thing is to refrain to eat high gluten products. Okay, because gluten, if it's high, they usually cause leaky gut and cause other inflammation. Okay, and herbicide is the same. Okay, herbicide, Roundup, and that sort of thing. If you are exposed to too much of that stuff, it has that issue as well.
Okay, that's really nice. So at least 6 months required to see certain changes in gut health. Okay.
But also there are certain way. For example, some of the people doing the fecal transplant, yeah, they might see the effect much quicker.
Okay.
But there's an issue. Right now, whose poop is so-called healthy? Okay, there's no standard right now. Okay, and there are few cases that when they do the fecal transplant, they actually got toxins, because the gut bacteria are so complicated, and if you put one in, that would work with your commensal in your gut, and suddenly you just have the issue. Okay, and that has been reported. Okay.
Okay, that's really wonderful to know. So my next thing to ask would be, usually the gut health tests available in the market are stool-based. So what do you think about our newly launched Zinzino's blood-based dried blood spot gut health test? So can we have some insights on that from you, doctor?
No, actually, I'm no expert on that, so I would refer to others. But of course, Saji can send me the detail about your the
The test, yeah.
prebiotic formulas.
Yes,
I'll be
yes.
more than happy to take a look.
Yes,
But
definitely.
because I start cooking since I was 6th grade. Okay, so I enjoy cooking. I bake. I do my fermented food. I do my
Yes,
kombucha.
yes.
Okay.
When I heard that you make your own cookies, that was really like inspiring and like wonderful to.
Yeah, I also almost I have my factory factory in my kitchen, so
Wow.
that's my kitchen pharmacy. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So my students usually ask for my my fungi that fungal there, because I've never had any contamination. Okay.
Nice, nice. Doctor, from your global experience, what is the biggest mistake people make when they are trying to be healthy?
Oh, going vegetarian.
Okay. Because I'm a vegetarian. Okay.
Well, sorry, I have to say you look to me a little bit inflamed.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been on keto diet for more than 6 years. Okay, and actually I got rid of my beer belly. Even though I don't drink beer, but I have slight uh, inflammation around my gut. Once I got into keto diet, my emotion becomes more stable and my concentration is almost 100%, and my body weight has been maintained constantly.
Nice.
Okay. And after 6 years, and my IQ has improved because I can solve puzzles much faster than before. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So every day I check myself with puzzles.
okay. Nice. Thank you, Doctor, for your wonderful insights and knowledge. So I would like to know if anybody has any questions from the group, they can.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
Other than ghee, what the food you suggest to maintain the healthy bacteria in our Indian context, like the diet from the Indian continent, what you have experienced for the past 10 years, other than ghee, what do you suggest to improve
you got a lot of oils. Mustard seed oil and black seed oil is to kill parasites. Okay, they don't kill the parasites outright. They stun the parasites, so they become silly, and then you use the herbs. Betel nuts is anti-parasitic. You can just send them out of your colon. Okay, and that way it would help you to restore the gut health, because a lot of these parasites, they are blood suckers. They hook on your intestine and suck the blood. Okay, so and then you have coconut oil. Okay, so you also have castor oil, which is also can be used to cleanse the parasite without killing them outright. So you have to pass the whole worm out of your body rather than kill it outright. Okay, because when you kill a small animal, their dead carcass is going to release toxins.
Okay.
Yes, Ismail sir, please.
Yes,
Good day.
Doctor,
Good
one
evening.
small question. Yeah, okay, please.
Okay, carry on, sir.
Yes, you please carry on.
Okay. Doctor, Saab, I have a problem, if I use any time any food contains with the palm oil, I have severe irritative bowel syndrome. So can you suggest me what will be the reason for this one? Only olive oil, sorry, the palm oil, if it is used in any cooking medium, then I have severe IBS in my stomach.
Palm oil, well, depends. It depends on how it's produced. It's a cold press.
Is the oil cold pressed, Ismail sir?
No, I don't know which kind of, since we are in India, the palm oil is very less and it's coming from Malaysia or Indian countries, And most of the sunflower oil and all the items is contaminated with palm oil. They are adulterating.
Yeah, because there's a talk among the community, that oxidized oil would induce, inflammation. And so not only you have to check that, but also you have to see how the oil is produced. Let me tell you, basically, it's not only omega-3 and 6. We will classify them just like HDL and LDL. One is good, one is bad. Both omega-3 and 6 are easily oxidized if you don't store them properly. Okay, And so some of the people try to buy oil cheap, so they buy a big bottle. Okay, once you open it, it starts to oxidize. You see, I came out of a lipid lab. Okay, we just bubble some oxygen and heat it up, and you produce a lot of monodialdehyde. Okay, and we were doing research on all the aldehydes, try to see how to measure oxidation. Okay, that's why I buy small bottle of oil, use it and throw it away. Okay, for example, today my mom was eating the nuts. I smell the nuts; it's rancid. I said, "Don't eat it." Yeah. So oil is very, very very fragile, and they can get oxidized easily, especially they are polyunsaturated fatty acids.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
So my most cooking oil is coconut oil.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's to be mustard oil or coconut oil, the best to use.
And then the equivalent of olive oil in Taiwan is camellia oil. Okay, that can be produced locally, and I know the factory that can produce in minus in the freezer. Actually, they press the oil in the freezer.
Mm. Mm. Nice. Yeah, thank you, doctor. Smile, sir.
Yeah.
Please use either mustard or coconut oil. Stop palm oil.
See, normally in our house we are using only pure coconut oil. But if I take food from outside, I don't know what kind of oil they are using. And the
Soy oil, vegetable oil.
Yeah, vegetable oil, but the corn oil or sunflower oil we are buying from the market, there it is adulterated with palm oil.
Yeah.
Most of them are oxidized. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and if they are extensively cooked, they are cooked.
Again,
The oil are cooked.
Yes, Mr. Shaji. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, doctor, thank you so much. And one small question. Now, in India, most people are vegetarians, and many people believe that becoming vegetarian automatically makes them healthy. So, from your experience, doctor, when someone chooses a vegetarian diet, what are the most common nutritional gaps you see in your patients, and how can they correct them in a healthy way?
Mental issue, they become really stubborn. So they are short of the DHA and EPA.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. If you look at the structure of DHA, it forms like a circle because it's a cis form. Okay. And if 25% of the fat in your brain is DHA, and what's the counterpart of DHA? Cholesterol.
Yes.
You see, we need a yin and yang balance. Okay. So that the cell membrane would maintain its flexibility, but it's not too loose. Okay. Now, vegetarian, you often see them really stubborn. Okay. Difficult to communicate.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Okay.
Their synapses are not working. Okay. They cannot communicate. Okay. And they stick their gun to one thing, and you say, well, you have this issue. What happened is that if they turn vegetarian, oftentimes they are very high in carbohydrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
That's why we have high rate of diabetes in Taiwan.
Yes, that's a really wonderful insight. So in India,
And actually, they all have a temper. Funny thing is that people on carnivore diet, they don't accuse people of, wrongdoing or torture animals or whatever. But vegetarian, they are too self-righteous. And they would leave comments and saying, you are killing animals, you are, animal killers and that sort of thing. And if you are peaceful vegetarian, why would you, utter those, those words,
Okay, that was a great insight because I'm a vegetarian, so I now know like where am I actually doing the mistake. So I should really think of my diet plans now.
That makes our balance oil.
Yeah, of course, I'm taking the
Health
balance oil
protocol,
to supplement
health protocol,
with,
non-negotiable.
No.
correct.
The
PPHD,
number one
of
thing
course.
is decrease your carbohydrate.
Yeah.
Decrease
Yes,
your
yes,
carbohydrate
yes.
first.
Our diet is
Okay.
full of carbohydrates. That is
Dosa.
the problem.
Yeah, I know. I've been in India more than 12 times,
Oh, wow.
I have a lot of Indian friends, so I know.
Yes, yes. Right,
Thank you so
actually,
much.
about India.
They are fond of dosas more.
Yeah, like everything, whatever you mention, whatever you name, there is a carbohydrate in it. So that is the Indian vegetarian scenario, especially if I have to say. So yeah, that was really a wonderful wisdom and insight from you, Doctor. So anybody has any questions?
Thank you so much, Doctor,
Yes,
for your invaluable time, wisdom, and generosity in
So,
sharing your insights.
definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you,
My
Doctor.
pleasure. I'm fond of your country, so I come here often.
Yes.
Right
Hope we can
here
meet
in
very soon.
Trivandrum.
Yes, we will meet you next time whenever you are in India.
Yeah, he's already in India, I think. I see.
Oh, he's there. Okay.
I come every year,
Yes.
except the pandemic years.
Okay.
Doctor, can you see your visuals?
Yeah, that Dr. Kama is my good friend, so he knows my whereabouts.
Yeah, he is our asset. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kamruddin, for introducing us to Dr. Lee. So thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you, Mr. Shaji Pulat, for a wonderful session. That was really nice. That was full of insights and different perspectives for us. So thank you, Doctor, once again. Thank you, Shaji sir. So whosoever have invited you, the participants to this wonderful session, please get in touch with them and get to know more about Zinzino and its formulations, which are science-backed and test-based and one of its kind in the world now. Let us meet again in the next Wellness Sunday with another wonderful guest. So thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.